Hi, today we'll talk about whenever SQL error exit option in SQL Plus. Whenever SQL error exit commands directs the SQL Plus to exit from SQL Plus whenever there is a SQL command error or PL SQL command error. It doesn't exit for a SQL Plus command error. So, for example, let's say if in your script you have a bunch of uh, DML update statements or PL SQL block. So the moment it or SQL Plus encounters an SQL command error or PL SQL error, it will exit the normal exit. And unless you give an option like exit rollback, it will commit the pending transaction and then exit. The syntax are whenever SQL error exit, it will commit the transaction, exit SQL Plus, and return exit code 0 to the operating system. Whenever exit commit is same as exit, by default it commits and exit SQL Plus whenever there's an error and returns exit code 0 to the operating system. Exit rollback, only difference is it rolls back the pending transaction and then exit SQL Plus and returns a exit code of 0. You can also exit SQL Plus and return a any number that you can choose from 0 to 255, any code that you can put like 100 or 10 or 5, and return that code to back to the operating system. If you want, you can just put a SQL code instead of putting any random number of your choice. You can say whenever SQL error exits SQL code, it will return this error code, SQL error code from the error from the script. There's also an option of exit success and failure. Success is same as default option or commit option. It commits and return a code of 0. And for failure, it commits the pending transaction, exits SQL Plus, and return a error code of 1. Let's look at an example. So I have a script. So this is shell script. I'm inside the shell script. I'm running some bunch of SQL and return the exit code back to the operating system and print it here. So first is I'm putting this is the start of my SQL Plus script, and I'm putting whenever SQL error exits. So just default option, no specific code or anything. And here I print the employee ID and salary for three employees, employee ID 101, 102, 103, and then I update the employees' salaries for those three employee IDs. The first one is 101, next is 102, and next is 103. And then I do a commit, and then I print back the record again, data again. But I have a typo here. I put salary 1 equal to 12,000. So at this point, it will throw error here. It will it will be a SQL error. And as per our this option, whenever SQL error exit, it will exit from the SQL Plus from this line, and it will commit the pending transaction, which is the update to employee ID 101, and then after the script, I'm printing the exit code return to the OS, and then I'll connect back to the database again just to check the record after the first script. So let's run this. So as you can see, the other my employee ID and salary 15,000, 102, 17,000, 103, 9,000. And first row is updated. And the second row, I see a invalid identifier error. And then it doesn't execute the third row, third record, third update statement. So the exit code returned to OS is 0 because I'm using just the exit default option. And you can see after post update data, 101 salary is updated from 15,000 to 17,000, but for 102, 103, the salary is unchanged. That means the update statement did not run and it exited. Now, if I use the option of, I'll put a code, let's say 100. As you can see, first row is updated and the exit code return is OS, and it is actually, it has committed on pending transaction. That's the first record. Second, third record is same. If I use a SQL code, you can use a SQL code. So it will return the SQL code of the SQL error code of the error. And let's say now the first record 17,000. I'll change it to 20,000 just to see if it is updated. So if I execute now, as you can see, first row is updated. I have an error. The exit code returned to OS is 136, This is like a internal Oracle SQL error code corresponding to this error. And as you can see, the first row is updated from 17,000. It has gone to 20,000. Remaining two records are unchanged. And there are a few other options. It behaves exactly like the exit default option. You can say commit exit SQL code commit, or you can say success. It behaves exactly like the default exit option. It commits, it exits the SQL error, and return exit code of 0. But if you say failure, so it commits the transaction, exits the SQL plus, but returns exit code of 1. If say, so I'm not putting a SQL code, but I want to see what it's going to return. So I'll remove the SQL code. And if I run this now, I said exit failure. So everything remains the same. Only the exit code return back is 1. And if I say rollback, and I can print exit code also, SQL code, and then space rollback. So minus 20,000 now. So now I'll change it back to, as a first record I'm updating 18,000. I want to know whether it is going to roll back or not. So if I execute it, as you can see, it updated the first row, and there's an error. Return code is 136, but the first record is still 20,000. That means it rolled back. So these are the different options for whenever SQL error exit command in SQL plus. Thank you. Bye.